Hey, what's up? It's Lili Chanel, and I'm here with my friend DJ Ryavon, and we're going to do an exclusive interview, all for the shiz. So stay tuned. Hey, what's up? It's Lili. I'm here with the shiz, and I have a special guest in the building, my very good friend, DJ Ryavon.
What up? What up?
What's going on? How are you?
See you doing your thing out here.
I see you doing your thing. Ryavon is always in and out the studio. He never has time to talk, so for me to be able to get him right now, this is so exclusive, guys. So, Rayvon, we know you have this big, huge DJ legacy, right? Yeah. But we're going to start from the bottom, and then we're going to get to the really good stuff, guys. You know I'll always have your back. So, Rayvon, what led you to wanting to be a DJ?
Probably my mom and dad. They grew up around hip-hop.
Yeah.
So, when they can I curse or?
Yeah, fine.
All right, excuse my language.
We're cutthroat here. Everything is, this is...
When hip-hop was first starting to happen is when they were growing up, and they're from New York, so... all the breakdancing, the rest of the elements and stuff. My mom's and pops was doing that. So we moved to the beach. My pops got out of the military, went to school with Norfolk State or whatnot. And graduated, got a job, whatever. And he said, yo, when things start to get good, we're going to get this turntable set, you know, just on some reminiscent type thing or whatnot. So they got the turntables one Christmas. I think it was the Christmas of 2001. Yeah, 2001, so they told me not to mess with it because they didn't want me breaking stuff up. And I used to play ball, so when I would come in from practice, they wouldn't be home. So if you tell somebody who's like 14, 15, don't touch something, you ain't going to do it when you're not there. So long story short, or long story long rather, because I'm long-winded, I taught myself that whole year. And then that following Christmas, everybody was in there getting lit or whatnot, so I went in there and started messing around. And they started paying attention, and then it was a situation where they were like, well, damn, you did that on your own. Let me kind of support you with this. And my moms and pops always been there holding it down.
So what would you say was your first major gig? What would you say was your breakout?
All right, so the most important gig early, I was like, again, this is that same year when I first started. There was this guy, this old head, this dude named Rockmaster. He used to throw all of the teen parties, like the biggest teen parties in the beach or whatnot. So I grew up in Virginia Beach. So it was me and my man Keith. We put together this little demo tape, right? I had the Volvo at the time, it was my mom's car. So I pull up on Rockmaster. He told me to meet him so I could drop the demo tape off. So I did the first half and Keith did the second half. But Rockmaster ain't really want Keith. So that was my first dilemma, like, damn, do I do this or do I not? Because we're supposed to be a team. But I ended up doing it, and I think it was like a little bit of feelings, but, you know, we're still cool to this day. Well, I haven't seen him in years, but anyways, Rockmasters was the first parties I used to do. We used to dead ass have to go to his crib, spend your own gas money, load the van up, all your equipment, all the records. At the time, it was records, like these big-ass crates of records. So you load all the records up. You get to the venue, you unload, you set up, you line the records up. You do this whole party be like 4 hours. Break the shit down, put it back in the van, drive off, back up to Rockmaster's crib, unload the van again, and he'll dead ass give you like $35, $40 for the whole night. So, but you know, it was for the love and for the fun. And I always felt like whenever you're doing something and it ain't necessarily about the money, it's a great thing for you to be doing because you love it. And your worth will determine itself. Like, Clearly now I'm not worth that much, but you know, it is what it is.
All right, well, I mean, that's a big step from, you know, where you used to be into where you are now. So would you say you later became a club DJ and then the radio station, or vice versa?
It started in the basement, then from there I went to the club, and then from the club, radio.
Okay.
I think that's natural progression, you know what I'm saying?
So you've been on how many radio stations so far? Because I only know of 2, but enlighten me.
I was on Power for a little while, and now I'm over here at the Beat.
Gotcha.
No, only 2 stations that I worked for.
But you worked for 2 major companies. You went from Radio 1 to iHeartMedia, correct?
Cool. I mean,
that's a huge jump.
Yeah.
And I've also heard that you are now not you're a slip and slide DJ, but you're also a Party Boys DJ, right?
Yeah, that's been for a couple years.
Okay, how did that happen?
I don't know. It's just one of those situations, again, where the streets are always talking and your worth determines itself. So if you're out here grinding and you putting the time in, well, for me and my craft as a DJ, there's people in the DJ world that pay attention to that. And I got to give a big shout to Quicksilver because he's the one who actually started that.
Right.
And Party Boys is nationwide now. It's a really big, you know, sort of a coalition type deal. It's like one of those stamps that you want to have.
It's prestige,
right?
Yeah,
as a DJ. So I guess he had heard, and even through DTLR, because that's where the connection is, that I was doing my thing here in the city of Richmond. And at the time, I was like kind of, not really on the come up, but I was like the young cat out here that was really getting it in. And respected by a lot of DJs who are prestigious. So when they heard about that, you know, Quick hollered at me or whatnot, and he said, yo, I'm getting ready to start the Party Boys. I want you to rock with it. Of course I'm going to say yeah, because Quick is like the man, you know what I'm saying?
For sure. Yeah, that's great. All right, so also, aside from that, you had a major deal going on, right? You had like you were a DJ for a superstar, right?
Yeah, I was working on the Austin Mahone project for a little bit.
Okay, and I know you were on tour with him because, I mean, I've seen you all over the blogs, you know, Austin Mahone, and then you see DJ Ryavon right there on the turntables, right? Okay, so about how long did that last, and what happened as to right now? Like, where do you stand with that?
I was with Austin for 2 years. Like, I think now he's going on his third year of, you know, actually being in the industry or whatnot. But when he first started out, like, even before he was with the management that he's with now, I had a good friend named Tay James. Tay James DJs for Bieber. So the industry's small, especially within certain genres of music. Like, you know which acts are coming out, you know what they're similar to. So I think initially the idea was to have something that was similar to a Bieber situation, but more new, more cutting edge, or like new age, you know, for a younger generation or whatnot, because Bieber was growing up. And, you know, it just times had to change. So when I got that phone call, I was on it. They flew me out. They asked me, you know, well, and actually the first time they flew me out there was in San Antonio. We really didn't even talk about music that much. Like, we were just vibing and getting to know each other or whatnot. So we had this cool natural connection, and honestly I think that's the way that this business works. Like, yeah, you have people who are great in what they do, but it's really more so about, not more so about, but if you can have a great personal connection, then it makes things more worthwhile. At the end of it, what ended up happening was there was a new creative director that came in, and they said that they wanted to go into a different creative direction, which didn't include a DJ. Disagreed with it 100%, because I feel like even in the pop world, all of the great pop acts have DJs. Chris Brown, you know, Bieber, anybody that you could think, Nicki Minaj, you know, all pop acts. Well, she's hip hop, but pop too. You know what I'm saying? They all have kind of Usher, and they have DJs. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. You know, it was a learning experience. To this day, Austin and I have a great relationship. We're cool. I check in with him now and then. He always answers the text or whatnot, because I genuinely like cared about him. It wasn't just, well, this is a come up. He's a good kid, man.
So aside from DJing with Austin Mahone, I've heard that you have a new group out called Super, right?
Yeah.
You guys were all over the blogs, even on Bossip. I was checking that out. That's
huge.
Really dope. So are you guys venturing away from DJing into a band, or tell me more about Super? Like, what is it exactly?
All right, so the way that group started, it was me and my boy Ferg, which is Mark Muse, and my man E. That's the members of the group. Me and Ferg have been rhyming. Like, a lot of people don't know, before the DJ thing, I was writing. I was rhyming, like recording my own songs and stuff like that. DJing just so happened to be the thing that, you know, I really excelled at, and that took off for me. But we were in a group in college called The Lineup. So we had like 3 mixtapes out. Like, we were putting that work in while we were in school or whatnot, but the group was like 6 people deep, I think it is. So of course it dithers down, and then we all graduated, so everybody started getting into life. But Ferg and I had already decided that, yo, you know, we still gonna do it, but it was like small. You know, this situation's a little bit bigger because we're branching out and we have a lot more plugs now. Definitely. You know how that goes. So yeah, Super's dope. Oh, I can't wait.
You guys do performances too, right? So are you guys a band? Like, what does each person do?
All right, so we all write. We all rhyme. Ferg and Eric sing. You know, I used to sing. I don't do that singing shit. I told them on the next tape they're gonna be surprised because I'm gonna pull a note out on them. Yeah. It's
all
gonna
right,
be
we gotta look forward to that. But gonna hold you to it.
Right. Nah, don't hold me to it. But I produce too, so I make some beats or whatnot. And there's also a 4th person who was involved in the last mixtape who I feel like is gonna be around for a while. His name is Brandon John. And he's basically the engineer and the guy who produced most of the mixtape. It's called Illegal Tent, by the way. SoundCloud.com/SuperSounds plug. Go look for that. Man, Illegal Tent's good, but it's crazy because it's like the new shit is so good that I almost halfway am ready to get past Illegal Tint. You know what I'm saying?
So do you feel like, since Illegal Tint is so good, do you feel
Yeah.
like, you know how rappers do so great that you sometimes hit your peak? Do you
Oh,
feel like that's your
nah,
peak, or
nah.
it's just leading the way up the mountain?
The thing about it is, Illegal Tint, a lot of people don't understand, is a mixtape that's 2 years old. So that started, the recording process started when I first got on the road.
Right.
So it's old material. Like, half of that tape is from way back, and the other half of it, you know, it's more current. But for me, it's like, it's not a full accurate representation of where I am right now.
Right.
And the music that we're making right now is sort of accurate to where we are in life.
So since Illegal Tint was old, I know you have a new mixtape that came out with a pretty interesting name. It's called Ghetto Ass Music.
Yeah, that's
right?
just for the streets.
Okay, so that's just for the streets. And
Yeah.
you have a collaboration on there, right? You have a host too as well.
Yeah, my man Hype. Shouts to Hype the comedian, man. He's new in the comedy game.
Yeah.
It's my, you know how you just got that one funny nigga that's your homie?
Always.
That's who Hype is, but I started to notice that he wanted to take it a little bit more serious, and we had a real conversation. So I said, well, you know what? I'm putting this mix out. I want you to host the mixtape, so that way, you know, it can get you a little bit of exposure. Because where I am in my life is like, moving forward, I feel like I have so many elements around me that I don't need to outsource for a lot of things. You know what I mean? Everything's right here. You know, we got comedians, we got singers, we have artists, we have people who do shit and they're good.
But that's a bit different though, to do a mixtape with a comedian. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, well, that's
so
the point. You gotta be innovative. You know what I mean? And there's no wrongs in this shit. It's art at the end of the day. So who's to say what you're doing is wrong? You know what I mean? Just be creative and do what you feel like doing. That's where I feel like a lot of people get, and especially in music, they get it misconstrued, or in industry. It's like, I have to do what's popular. But when you look at it, the true trailblazers in the industries are the people who do what they feel like doing.
For sure.
You know, the leaders, they just take that step out there, and then we end up following because they were the brave ones. You know what I mean? So that's what I try to attain from music, and even with DJing too. I try to like not have to fit in.
Right, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, so you've heard it here first. So Rayvon, where can we download this Ghetto Ass Music mixtape, or find out any music that deals with you at social networks, everything where you're going to be DJing at, in the club? Let us know. Run it down.
So SoundCloud.com/I am DJ Ryavon. That's where all the mixes are that I put. You might hear some stuff from the radio station up there. I try to keep my SoundCloud page diverse. So, you know, I play everything. So
Definitely.
it's a lot of stuff up there. I just put out a mixtape yesterday, as a matter of fact. It's called Soul Food. And it's a 3-part mixtape with Sherm Ski and with Skip, and they're 2 DJs who I really respect. So that tape is just like old music. There's pop stuff up there. My Twitter page is @DJ Ryavon_. That's the same as my Instagram. And the website is IamDJRayvon.com. That's all the booking information. You'll find videos, because I just ventured into like video production and stuff like that too. So yeah, man, I'm putting that work in. Just like Lili.
I'm
putting
trying,
it in.
man.
Hey.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
You know I love you, Rayvon, and we love having you here.
Of course.
And guys, make sure you stay tuned to the Shiz for all your hottest in music, fashion, and gossip. Love you.
It's the Shiz. Turn up one time with Lili. We lit. It's a lituation. We up right now. The Shiz. Huh.